Welcome to the third episode on DTA. Do not tell anyone. So, in the first two, we covered the negotiation and the communication between the client and the advocate. So, this episode is going to be quite unique one because I'm going to talk about something which gives heartache as well as headache to most of us, irrespective of the gender. Don't take me otherwise, and that is marriage. And I'm not talking about solutions to these problems of heartache as well as headache, but I'm talking about the communications during marriage. So let me clarify the law first, and then I'll move on to other discussion. The law talks about communication between husband and wife. So when a communication is made between husband and wife and the information is collected as husband or wife, all that information falls under prohibited communication. So that means don't tell anyone applies to that communication. So if the husband comes home and tells that I was driving the car while speaking on a phone, that information wife cannot stand before the court and tell the court. It is prohibited. Now the question, why? Why it is prohibited? What is the logic behind this? The logic is very, very simple. See, most of the relations that we have is either created by blood, that is brother, sister, parents, relatives, and there is one relation which is created purely on affinity, trust, faith, that is marriage. I'm excluding friendship and other things, though I'm not including them, but this is something which is the basic unit of the society and the foundation on which the whole society is standing. So when we talk about family, when we talk about the important members of the family, that is husband and wife, that is the marriage, the law has a primary duty to protect the marriage, the institution of marriage. So if my wife is allowed to go to court and tell that I was on phone while driving the car, so what does that leads to? That leads to first loss of trust and faith. The confidence on each other is impacted. So in between, at the end result is going to be the loosening of the tie that's called as marriage. So that's the reason why the communication is being declared to be privileged communication and it can't be revealed to anyone else. So that is about the law. Now let us come to the limitations on this, because this is a very, very important thing that you should keep in mind. So there are three important points that I want to talk about. First point is to whom it is applicable. It is applicable only to married couple. So there was a case when man and woman had an affair. This guy gives some very, very important delicate information to his girlfriend, and the girlfriend, after marriage, the girlfriend was called, the married woman was called to the court. The first question asked is that when you got this information, after marriage or before marriage? So she said, he told me as we were boyfriend and girlfriend. The court said that this information is admissible. So therefore, before marriage, no protection to the communication. During marriage, there is a lot of protection to the communication. What about after marriage? Maybe marriage may get dissolved due to death, one of the partner, or maybe divorce. So what happens to after marriage? So now there is a little bit of conflicting opinion on this, because sometimes the court has held that as this is information covered when marriage was subsisting, we can't interfere with that information. But when Indira Gandhi assassination happened, Bayan Singh, one of the the accused, his wife was called in the court after his death, called in the court and asked for that. And she said that he had told about the conspiracy to assassinate. So therefore, this whole communication was considered to be a valid communication, and the court took it as an evidence. That's I find it to be a wrong approach to the whole idea of a protected communication. Then comes the second, a very interesting and amusing part of it. When I read about this, I was really amused, and let me share that amusement with you. And if it doesn't amuse you, the blame is on me, because I'm not able to communicate well, because there's no problem with the incident which I'm talking about. A wife was called as a witness in the court. In the court, the advocate asked whether your husband told you that he committed a murder. She said yes. He came home and told me that he committed a murder. Immediately, the defense lawyer stood up, raised an objection, and he said it falls under communication during marriage. So the judge said, remove it. I am not going to take it down. Prove the same murder from some other source. I will not take it down, because it's going to impact the concept of marriage, and the whole society would be impacted with that. Then the prosecutor took a long breath and started asking other questions. So second question the advocate raised is, that day when he came home, we are talking about that confession thing, which we don't want to hear, because it's between you and husband. What happened? She said he didn't come from front door, he jumped in by scaling the wall in my backyard. And he entered the house from the back door, and straight he went to bathroom. Then he looked at the defense lawyer, the lawyer looked at the judge. They were confused whether to write it down or not, because there is no communication between husband and wife in whatever information that is provided. So the lawyer said that, Your Honor, protection is given to communication and not to the conduct. So then what happened, he asked. So I went and peeped into the bathroom. He was washing the clothes, and the clothes were blood stained. Again, she is revealing what she observed, not what is being communicated to her. Then after washing the clothes, he put it for drying and he took a bath, and then he came to the bedroom and told that he committed the murder. Then the prosecutor turned to the judge and said that, Your Honor, the last part is falling under privileged communication. We will not consider that, whereas other parts, conduct and observation, should be taken as a valid piece of evidence. And the court agreed. So this is how, this is just, I'm giving you a glimpse of a one-day life of a lawyer, where he finds a way to go around the law and get the conviction for the accused. So this is about the marriage, communication during the marriage. So whenever husband and wife are talking to each other, need not worry about it. Do not tell anyone works for them. So be free, fair and frank with your wife and with your husband. Thank you very much. Please watch this, subscribe this and share, so that more and more people can be benefited. Thank you very much.